Good afternoon and welcome to Grindleford Reserve for this round 3 NPL WA clash between Balcatta FC and Floreat Athena. My name's Tommy Dolman. It's great to have your company this afternoon on the NPL feed, wherever you may be watching around Australia or the world, be it on the Football West Facebook page or YouTube channel. Today's fixture is a replay of last season's semi-final where Athena prevailed 3-2, and even though they didn't progress beyond the preliminary final, they've picked up where they've left off in season 2020 with 2 wins from 2, including a 2-0 win at defending champions Perth 7 days ago. This marks the final match of Ante Kovacevic's 6-month spell with the club after he accepted a role as general manager at A-League club Western United earlier in the week. Host Balcatta, meanwhile, winless in 2 NPL WA games this season. But they've been capable of earning a scalp in previous seasons. This freshened squad still perhaps finding its feet under relatively new management. But many of that group who reached 4th place in 2019 are still there, and that means they shouldn't be written off just yet for another top 4 finish. Teams just gathering in their pre-game huddles here, led by Dean Evans, of course, the skipper for Athena. Balcatta still in theirs as well. The referee today, Matthew Southern, waiting in the middle to get proceedings underway, and he'll be assisted by Niall Gilmore and Michael Goyen. So Balcatta have had a pretty wretched run against Floreat since the NPL WA era began in 2014, but records are there to be broken. That's often the best thing about this competition, the NPL WA, you just never know. Round 3 action in Perth's northern suburbs is underway, and we're underway with Balcatta kicking us off and kicking from the left to the right of your stream this afternoon, wearing their darker blue jersey with red tilt to it as Corness tries to put a bit of pressure on the goalkeeper, and out that goes for a quick throw into Balcatta. Floreat, of course, wearing their all-white changed kit. Corness trying to make some yardage in the back half. Evans pings that one upfield. Tong, new signing, of course, this season for Balcatta. 2nd spell at the club. Gets that one forward, and he and John Carney should make pretty good defensive partnership this season. Plenty of experience in that defensive 4. Floreat, of course, 2 wins from 2, as touched on in the pre-game. A 3-1 win over Armidale at home in round 1 before a 2-0 win at Dorrien Gardens, as touched on. They did, in fact, beat Perth in the Ghost round as well at the same venue. So Ante Kovacevic has certainly got his charges moving in the right direction as the decision goes the way of Balcatta on this near side. Throw-in will be taken by Joe Marino. Been at the club since 2018 has Marino, part of Perth Glory's youth set up once upon a time. Missed only the 1 game in 2019, so he's been a pretty regular fixture. As nice interplay on this left-hand side from Balcatta gets them down the left. Zimmerino Michael. That is, was after it, but across and cutting that out was Jesse Fuller. Here he is again. Michael Zimmerino, and the shot from Castiello from distance was on target and creeping in, but Jordan Barbas was able to gather that one pretty comfortably, deputising for Jason Saldaris this afternoon in goal. Played just the 1 time in 2019 against Rockingham, did Barbas. And getting plenty of touches here. Here's Gallen. Exchanges passes with his goalkeeper once more. Balcatta with a draw and a loss from their first 2 games in season 2020, a 1-1 draw with the Glory at this venue before a 2-1 defeat at Armidale last weekend. Tricky place to go always, down in the southern suburbs, and unfortunately for Balcatta, they were one of the victims of the ghost round. 1-0 win against ECU Joondalup on that afternoon, and with that one written off and archived into the depths of time, they're still looking for their first win in 2020 as Shamaki tries to pick out Ambrosio. Ball from Leach goes all the way back to Stevenson. Possession will be gifted back to the visitors though. Lovely switch of the play from Fuller. Picks out Evans on this near side. He's got the overlap from Shongo, who uses his captain once again and tries to burrow his way through some Balcatta pressure, and it'll be the first corner of the afternoon. We all know Evans has plenty of ability from these dead ball situations, whether it be corners or free kicks. This one will be an in-swinger from the left-hand side. Bigger bodies are forward. It's to the near post. It's headed away by Marino, and a secondary set piece will occur. Still Shamaki and Fuller all forward here for this secondary corner. It's into the near post again. The flick was away by Marino, I think it was, and Adam Zimmerino's herring after that one. Well cut out by Liam Murray, who's in possession again. Chris Saldaris stayed forward from the set piece. Cross is a very deep one, and Evans will do well to reach that one here on this near side. He does, and he's in battle with Marino and wins a free kick. So Floreat making moves early on this afternoon. Palmer. Wins yet another throw on this near side for Floreat. Ball hugging the touchline in these first 5 minutes or so. Shamaki hooked away by Adam Zimmerino. Here's Chris Saldaris. Dennis Gallen, 2-time cup winner with Athena. And now Palmer retreats back to Jesse Fuller, who was the only Floreat player to play in every single NPL WA game last season for Athena. Nice interplay from the visitors over on that far side, and challenge was a little late on Palmer, I think it was, who was grounded by the late challenge. In fact, it was Liam Murray who gets up and walks away. So once again, Evans is drifting over to the other side. This one will be an outswinger this time. First couple have been to the near post. This one's taken quickly, but Matthew Southern wasn't ready for that one to be taken. Once again, plenty forward for the set piece. This one's a good-looking ball from Evans. Tong is heading away, only as far as Liam Murray, though. Shongo. And now Gallon, the last man back. Drives forward, looking for the feed of Arnold. Liam Murray. Ambrosio tried to tickle that one through for the run of Arnold. No doing. Gallon, Shamaki. Turning and striking, headed away by Marino, nearly ran into the path of Arnold. Still here for Floreat if they can get hold of possession. It's Shamaki, and now Evans taking over, cleared upfield by Durr, and Balcatta are just trying to press out at the moment. This has been a very good start from The visiting team, Shongo's ball was long and none of his teammates were on the same wavelength, and that'll run through for a relieving goal kick for Balcatta. So these two teams did meet in the semi-finals of the NPL WA in 2019, a 3-2 win for Floreat. A game they were largely in control of, somewhat flattered by a late consolation from Adam Zimmerino, who's in possession now. Of course, that run was to the preliminary finals in 2019 for Floreat. They'll be looking to go 1 or 2 better this time round. Good drive from Cornish. Here's Adam Zimmerino driving into the area and sliding past Barbas. And the home team lead here at Grindleford Reserve. It's Balcatta 1, Floreat Athena 0. So the home side strike first this afternoon against the leaders. It was Cornes who made that driving run forward, and then Adam Zimmerino carried it on and managed to slide it past Barbas from the tight angle. Somewhat against the run of play given the first period of the game, but Balcatta back in possession here now and have their tails up somewhat as Marino's ball will be switched and will look for Michael Zimmerino. Here's Liam Murray looking to get Athena back on the front foot. It's cut out by Michael Zimmerino. Now Jack Leach, off-season signing from Perth Soccer Club, who looks forward for Michael Zimmerino once more, but that's outran him, and that'll drift out for a goal kick, which is quickly taken by Barbas. Gallen. Very versatile player, Dennis Gallen, capable of playing in defence or midfield and lining back at centre half as he did last season. Leach. Michael Zimmerino. Plenty of pace in this front three for Balcatta, and here's another example. This one's cut back to the edge of the area where Adam Zimmerino is in again and finding the bottom corner once more. A double Adam Zimmerino strike inside the first 10 minutes has Balcatta flying at Grindleford Reserve. And the leaders have got some work to do. Balcatta 2, Floreat 0. So Balcatta still an early march on this overcast but mild winter's afternoon in Perth's northern suburbs. And that front three has got plenty of movement and plenty of pace about it, and we've seen 2 good examples of that inside the first quarter of this game. Palmer. Evans double teamed on this near side. And now Cornish was in on Shongo a little heavily. Referee said it was fair. And the last touch was off the Athena full-back. So the Zimmerino brothers, integral so far this season, both joining Balcatta at the start of last season from Perth Soccer Club. Another brother there as well in Paul. And Balcatta's top scorer last season in Adam, off to a flyer in season 2020. His third goal of the season already, and third in the last two meetings with Floreat, having scored in that semi-final last year as well. Has put the hosts in a really good position so far. Here's Murray looking to respond into the feet of Arnold. Tong turns, looked to be getting there first anyway, but Marino wasn't taking any chances and drove that over the fence into touch. Throw will be taken by Chris Saldaris. It's long. Evans tries to flick on. Michael Zimmerino heads away, hoisted back into the area, but headed as far as he could by Tong. And now Arnold. Marino's had a really good start to this game. He's had the better of his opponents so far when he's come across him. Shongo. Evans. Back to Shongo. And now Phil Arnold. Evans, this is better from Floreat. Strike from Evans, charged down by Tong, who just decides to get a boot on it as urgently as possible. Forward once more by Gallen. Ball eventually lands at the feet of Michael Zimmerino, who looks for his brother once more, but pass slightly overhit and gathered by Barbas. Phil Arnold. Last touch off Shongo there, and Cornice is quick to throw for Durr now. Adam Zimmerino's got Michael skating down this left-hand side too. In the middle, one of them's Durr. It's too close to Barbas, though, who can gather at his near post, and the pace is certainly frightening Floreat's back four in these early stages. Now, what can Noah Shamaki do as the grey clouds come over the ground here? Still going is Noah Shamaki, and crossing left-footed, and off Castiello it goes, and not 100% sure if that one's a corner or a throw-in, but I think Shongo's going over to take the throw. He is. Shongo, 1-2 with Arnold. Early crossings looking for the run of Ambrosio. Cleared away by the Balcatta defence. Floreat looking to respond once more, but they've been really out-enthused by the home side so far. And this would be a real turn up for the books if Balcatta were to continue on and get their first win of the season. As I touched on in the pre-game, they've had a wretched run against Floreat over the years, winless in their 14 NPL WA games. Shongo pulls back for Evans. Touch found the feet of Cornice, and now Gallen will look up and play sideways for Palmer, who's got no choice but retreat all the way back to Barbas under the pressure of Adam Zimmerino. Ball cleared into touch there. Came past me at a pretty quick rate of knots, but never in any real danger up here as the clouds continue to darken here. Looks as though we may get some rain fairly shortly, despite the sunshine a moment ago. Saudaris' ball forward. Ambrosio tries to find his teammate Arnold. Ambrosio will go back and get the seconds. He'll pull it back, missed by Tong. Leach will gather comfortably, and a wonderful turn here from Castiello to sell Liam Murray completely. Cornice perhaps tried to bite off more than he could chew there, and now Evans tries to poke through for Arnold, who can't reel that one in. Riley Stevenson will once again take a restarting goal kick. So 14 NPL WA meetings between these sides since 2014, when the competition in this format began. Just the one draw, a 2-2 draw in round 8 of 2017. Of course, one of those meetings was a finals clash as well, but it's been pretty slim pickings otherwise, as Murray tries to respond for Floreat. Flick on was by Arnold. He couldn't divide towards goal, and now Ambrosio will try and work something once again, but the pass is a little heavy from Palmer once more, and Floreat just struggling to get their rhythm a little bit in this final third. One thing I would say, though, is that Floreat have scored in every meeting between these two sides since 2014 in the NPL WA, so with some of the attacking players that they do have, you'd still back them to perhaps cause Balcatta a problem as the afternoon wears on. But so far it's been a pretty frustrating start for Ante Kovacevic in his last game as Athena coach. They have been in the ascendancy a little bit more in recent times, as Gallen's ball forward, headed away by Marino. Adam Zimmerino, really good tenacity to get there first and win possession for his team. So Balcatta FC 2, Floreat Athena 0. Live on the Football West YouTube channel and Facebook pages this afternoon. 2 goals for Adam Zimmerino. Tong's ball was headed away by Chris Saudaris. Does have a habit of bobbing up from set pieces over the years, does Chris Saudaris. They'll need one of those today. Relatively consistent performer over the journey. 19 appearances last season as Balcatta retreat all the way back to Stevenson. Songo went up for the header, won it, and Matthew Southern Decided it was a little strong from Shongo. Leach. Carney. Adam Zimmerino. Cornes. Looked for some support from his fullback. It wasn't on, so instead retreated all the way back to Tong via Carney. Now Cornes again. Pass a little wide of Marino. John Cornes, Gosnells Jr., ex-Coburn City. Been here for the last 4 and a bit seasons, though. He's made over 100 appearances in the NPL WA since joining. A real regular fixture in this side. Here he is again, not quite able to keep that one alive, and Floreat will win the throw-in, so game has just found itself in a holding pattern for the moment between the lines and between the penalty areas. And there's another example of the ball not quite finding feet for Floreat, as Gallant's pass was wide of Phil Arnold. Shongo. Arnold. Shongo again. And Arnold again. Palmer. What can Floreat build here? They're quite happy to maintain possession at the moment as Fuller slides to Gallen, and then wider still for Shongo, who tries to get the better of Cornes. Does pretty well, but Marino was there providing assistance to his teammate. Durr keeping that one alive and finding Jack Leach. Good play from Balcatta, and Durr's away down this right-hand side. He's got an absolute paddock to run into. The cross is into the back post, looking for Michael Zimmerino, and Chris Saldaris had to get a touch on it. Corner conceded. So really enterprising work from Balcatta once more, just near the halfway line, and Durr's cross was a pretty good looking one. That corner will be taken by Callum O'Connell. It's looking for the head of Tong, who does get his head to it in the end, and thankfully for Floreat, there was nobody at the back post nor anybody on the post needing to clear that one. Towering figure there. Adam Tong, one of the tallest bodies on the pitch, and always dangerous from set pieces. I remember one in particular last season against Perth for Bayswater. He scored in back-to-back weeks against the Azzurri with Bayswater. Ex-Inglewood and ECU as well, Adam Tong. And as discussed before, currently in his second spell with the club. Gallen. Shongo's touch, just took his eye off the ball slightly. Gives possession back to Balcatta, who still lead by 2-0 here. Sun has well and truly disappeared here. Can feel some light rain already here from where I'm sitting, and it wouldn't surprise me if we saw it really come down in the next 20 minutes or so. Durfow's Shongo. Relieving free kick of sorts for the visitors. Who of course had the news earlier in the week that Ante Kovacevic would be leaving the club and taking up a role in the A-League with Western United, the newest A-League franchise. Heading back to his hometown as per the Floreat Athena media release. At this stage, it looks as though senior assistant Vaz Vujicic will continue on the good work done by Kovacevic up to now, although no confirmation on a replacement has been officially made just yet. Good news for Floreat fans, of course, is that Kovacevic should be returning in 2021 for the club's 70th birthday celebrations. One of the proudest and longest serving clubs in the league, of course, Florida. Saudaris' ball in his flicked on it, nearly ran to Arnold at the back post. It did via Marino's touch in the end. Now Shongo. Evans, Gallen. Fuller demands the ball, he gets it. Drives into the space. Vacated and left to him by Balcatta's defence, but Saudaris' cross leaves a bit to be desired. So Balcatta showing some shades of their 2019 form so far this afternoon. They had a really good start last year, of course, and really mixed it with some of the best at this level, but they slipped to 8th after 3 losses in a row, and then ultimately got back in tune on track, after an unbeaten June. 5 games there, 4 wins and a draw, put them right back into top 4 contention, and they did hold on despite a nervy end to the season where they pipped Bayswater as Durr drives forward. He's got Cornes on his outside, who's onside, and back defending desperately was Ambrosio. Cornes lost that in the air. Michael Zimmerino strikes and didn't quite catch that one as well as we know he can. But yet another moment of warning from the homes. Of course, on the final day of the 2019 season, Balcatta beat Sterling Lions here. They were relying on some drop points for Bayswater, who were their rivals for that 4th and final spot. And thanks to Cockburn City, they managed to sneak in after the Cockerels picked up a 2-1 win. Fuller. Chip ball over the top. Received first by Carney, who clears into Chris Saudaris, and in fact the last touch did come off Carney at the end, and it will be a Floreat throw. Decision doesn't go Floreat's way on that occasion though, as Shamaki couldn't bring that one under control. And Floreat also had a bit of a mixed start to 2019, and a little bit like Balcatta, 5 wins in 6 games through May and June, basically locked them into that top 4 spot. They were chasing Perth for quite a while. They got to within 5 points of them in round 18, but a run of 4 games without a win leading into the semi-finals last season really dented Athena's confidence and opportunities of getting that double chance. They did beat Balcatta, of course, as touched on before, but fell to Perth in the preliminary final. Perth team who did go on to become the champions and league and top 4 cup winners. A heartbreaking loss that night though, with Nicola Sabatini scoring in the 118th minute. That said, they have put that defeat past them, though, with 2 wins over Perth. One of them, of course, not counting, but good form nonetheless to have. They've got a bit of work to do here, though, as Balcatta lead by 2-0. Football West Facebook page and YouTube channel this afternoon. Our commentary game, 5 other games across the grounds in the NPL this afternoon. We'll bring you some results at halftime of those games, but we'll warn you in advance just in case you don't want to hear them. Meanwhile, Evans has an in-swinging free kick. That's a good-looking ball in. It was flicked on by Phil Arnold. It nearly landed at the feet of Palmer, but it's cleared away by the home side. Evans wants to get back onto his favoured right side. He twists and turns and gets the better of Tong. Back post delivery looks pretty good. No one banking on it, though. And in the end, the last touch was off Michael Zimmerino, and the corner is conceded. And this time it'll be an in-swinger from number 9, Shamaki. High looping ball that always favoured Tong. Murray. Well defended by Adam Zimmerino, who was back supporting his back 4. Palmer. Chris Saldaris. Shamaki now. Bit of space on this right-hand side. He'll want to try and get back on his left foot. Retreats to Chris Saldaris. Clearance from Castiello up in the air. Shamaki. Crossing. It's a good-looking ball. And Ambrosio should have had the target. Floreat's best opportunity of the afternoon so far, and they probably should have halved the deficit. Shamaki twisted and turned on that right-hand side of the penalty area. The cross was perfect, and Ambrosio couldn't quite get over the ball. Corness anticipated that Leach would continue his run, but Floreat will get possession back by Rashongo. Throw in. Played at Guelph and Inglewood as a youngster, did Shongo, before joining Stirling in May 2019. Fairly limited opportunities throughout his NPL career so far, but he's definitely first choice at left back for the league leaders so far this season. As Balcatta win a free kick, and Callum O'Connell is standing over it. Delivery looks real good. Corner stoops and finds the net for a third Balcatta goal. The hosts are in dreamland here. Balcatta 3, Floreat 0. A real turn up for the books here in round 3 of the NPL WA. And we're not even at half time yet. So a third goal for the home team, a really impressive first half of football, you've got to say. Callum O'Connell's free kick was an absolute peach, and John Corness was unmarked and able to stoop and glance that into the far corner. And it's a long way back for the league leaders now, you've got to say, as Ambrosio looks wide for Shongo. Liam Murray. Ex-Glory NPL youngster Liam Murray. Needs some work from him in that number 10 role. Ambrosio. Chris Saldaris. Cross will come in. That's a better looking ball. It'll run all the way to Murray at the back post. No free kick. Evans! Slice that wide of the upright. We know he's got that in him, Dean Evans, to find the bottom corner. Scored an absolute stonker for Floreat in the prelim last season. From a similar distance, actually, into the opposite corner to where that one went. Bobby Tanevsky steps off the bench. He looks very happy with his afternoon's work so far, and so he should. It's been a fine response from a Balcatta team who lost at Armidale last week and were winless in the first 2 games of the revised season up to this point. O'Connell can't keep that one in play. Floreat will get a set piece. They'll be hoping they can snare one back before half-time. That's a good ball from Shamaki. Fuller's header. Ambrosio, how did he not put that in? Volley comes back in once more from Arnold. And Floreat pull one back. A sniff for the league leaders, perhaps. So 4 goals already this afternoon. And what an exciting afternoon's football this has been. The good news is we've still got another 45 minutes at least of this one to come. The set piece was a good one from Shabaki. It bobbled around. Ambrosio had a swing and a miss, and in the end the volley was rattled in by Arnold. Might just give Floreat a little bit of impetus as Carney heads that one away. Really gives them a little bit of hope now. Does that goal? Shamaki goes to ground, no free kick. Balcatta just needing to retain possession a little better, I feel, and in the end they should be able to get that one up the line. Corness shouts for handball. It looked like he did use it a little. Home team will be desperate to get through to half-time, but the way it's going, they may be able to add another one as Corness drives forward. Finds Leach on the edge of the area. No talk there, clearly, as Ambrosio managed to step in, and now the referee's playing an advantage as Evans finds Shamaki. He's the only one up there at the moment, though, and that allows Carney to step in and get a boot on it. Corness, well won. Evans has Murray and Shongo to his left. Murray will pick up and cross low. Tong gets it away. Palmer looks wide for Saldaris. Body still forward here for Athena as the rain starts to lightly come down now. Saldaris' cross off Carney. Throw in for Athena. I can tell the rain's starting to get a little heavier now as the fans at the fence retreat somewhat. Palmer. Foul paid by the referee under the challenge of O'Connell. And this is in a pretty promising Position for Floreat now. We know what Evans can do from these dead balls. Scored a great free kick in the FFA Cup against Adelaide Comets last season. And this would provide a real boost to the visitors' hopes if it does find the net. Evans steps up, it's a cross, it's deflected, and Stevenson had to make the save. I think it was going on target. Quick release looking for Michael Zimmerino. Palmer keeps it alive, but not for long. As we edge closer towards the first 45 minutes being up, Balcatta trying to hold on to that 2-0 lead that they've been pretty good value for thus far. They'll follow up with another throw in. Michael Zimmerino. Free kick was paid for a push on Castiello. Perhaps one more chance for the home side to restore that 3-goal margin. Yellow card for Floreat there, shown to Phil Arnold, first of the afternoon. As O'Connell plays that one short. Carney, Michael Zimmerino, twisting, turning. Good defending there from Evans, though, who was back on the edge of the area. O'Connell will stroll upfield and take the throw in. Passes all the way back to Carney. Leach. Now Tong. Ball out wide's a good one for Corness, who's drifted into that channel, and he's got an overlapping run from Marino. Fuller well across there to clear. Throw from Marino. Shongo can't win possession. Adam Zimmerino penalised there for a hold on the fullback. As the referee takes a look at his watch, can't be long left now in this first half. Shamaki goes to ground, nothing doing. Clearance was made by Balcatta. Tong just wellies that one forward. Any territory will do now for the home team. Fuller. Pass looking for Saldaris off the outside of the right boot, and Matthew Southern blows time on the first 45 minutes here at Grindleford Reserve. A thrilling opening half with Balcatta FC leading Floreat Athena by 3-1. Adam Zimmerino, a double strike inside the first quarter of an hour to really light up this game. And then John Corness stooped to head in a third, which put Balcatta in a pretty powerful position. A 3-goal lead that was reduced somewhat by Phil Arnold's volley in the shadows of half-time, but Balcatta good value for their lead and looking pretty good for a first NPL WA of the season. Half-time, Balcatta 3, Floreat Athena 1. 45 minutes to go in this one. Welcome back to the second half of this round 3 NPL WA match between Balcatta FC and Floreat Athena. The home side leading by 3-1. We'll give you the scores from around the grounds just before the second half gets underway, so tune out now if you want to watch a game later on. Elsewhere, we've got Bayswater 0, Inglewood 0, ECU Joondalup 3, Sorrento 0, Guelph Croatia 4, Perth Glory 1, Perth 0, Coburn 0, and Rockingham 0, Armidale 1. So plenty of goals around the grounds this afternoon. 4 goals here as well. And it's the league leaders who are going to need at least a couple more if they want to maintain their unbeaten start to the season. As the visitors get us underway. The second half live on the Football West YouTube channel and Facebook pages. Gallen's ball is forward, retrieved by Murray, who's got Shongo on his outside, crosses too deep for Arnold though, and that'll be a nice welcome goal kick for Balcatta at the start of this half. 2 goals for Adam Zimmerino inside the first quarter of an hour. A third added by John Cornice, with Phil Arnold pulling one back as the rain started to come down here in Perth's northern suburbs. Thankfully, it's disappeared for the moment. Fuller. Shongo. Fuller. Palmer. Now slotting into that back 4, it seems. Chris Saldaris a little higher up the pitch at the start of this second half. Just wonder if Floreat have tweaked their formation somewhat in a bid to get back into this game. Evans also playing a little higher up the pitch as well, as Shongo looks to do some good work down this left-hand side again. Corner signalled by the referee. Good opportunity for the visitors to get on the front foot at the start of this second half. It's Evans who will swing this one in. It's towards the back post. Header was from Castiello. Could have gone anywhere. And thankfully for the home side, it drifted behind, and for another second corner for Floreat. Shamaki takes dangerous to the near post. Stevenson tried to gather. He fumbled though, and it'll be take 3 for Athena. Shamaki again. This one's a little deeper. Stevenson comes again. Punches this time. A pretty good punch too. It forces Shongo to retreat back for Gallon, whose pass wide is headed away by Corness, and now Balcatta have a chance to counter. Foul was from Gallon on Adam Zimmerino. Referee lets that one play on, and Corness's ball for Michael Zimmerino's a beauty. So Chris Saldaris was back timely though, and his clearance cannons off Zimmerino and out for a goal kick. So Gallon's challenge wasn't a good one. I did just take a look to see if Matthew Southern did go back and book Gallon after the event, but it doesn't look as though a card was shown. So as it stands, just the one card this afternoon. Not been that sort of game really, to be honest. It's been quite open and quite frenetic. Floreat with a little bit of hope going into this second half, provided to them by Phil Arnold's strike on the cusp of half-time. Callum O'Connell come forward to take the throw in, son of John, of course, very familiar name in Western Australian football. 21 appearances, 3 goals last season. The club's leading scorer with 8 in 2018 as well. Very good taker of a set piece, and was actually on the Football Superstar television show back in 2008, so goodness me, that was some time ago, all right. And as a result of that, he ended up making 4 appearances for Brisbane Roar in the A-League as well, so very good player is Callum O'Connell, and we saw with that cultured left foot in the first half that he's very capable of whipping a good set piece as well. But coming the other way of Floreat now, as Murray looks inside for Ambrosio, passes incisive, looking for Evans. Turn was a pretty good one, but Carney was awake and alert to the danger. Saldaris. Palmer, who's stepped back into midfield once more, was trying to get on the end of it, but Floreat will once again win the throw. Cleared by O'Connell, only as far as Fuller. Outside of him is Shongo. Back to Fuller again, of course. The only player to play every single game for Athena last season. Gallon. Chris Saldaris. Plenty of crosses from him so far this afternoon. That one, not one of his best. Now that goes for a goal kick to be taken by Stevenson, who had 3 seasons at Perth Glory NPL level. Spells at Inglewood and Guelph, Croatia as well. Starting both games, of course, for the home side upon the restart of the competition a couple of weeks ago. Zimmerino keeps the ball in play. It was off the chest of Corness and driven upfield by Shongo. Tidying up there was from Jack Leach. Gallen. Evans. Stepping over the ball and losing track of it, which allowed Castiello to step in. He's been a very consistent player for Balcatta over the past 2 seasons. Alex Castiello, Coburn Jr., who joined Balcatta from Subiaco in 2018. Dangerous cross in there from players. Shouts of a foul there. O'Connell will try and feed that back into the area. Leach. Pass forward. O'Connell tries to tickle around the corner. Durr will help that one on, but there's no runner on the outside there. Barbas can gather that pretty comfortably. One of 3 players to play every game in 2019 was Castiello, alongside Corness and a now departed Shubham Makala, who's now at Guelph, Croatia. Murray, working his magic around the edge of the area. Will get possession back. Reverse pass was looking for Palmer. Clearance upfield. Gallen waited for it. Nearly allowed Adam Zimmerino to get in there. Cross from Evans. Good looking one. And Tong takes no chances with Shamaki lurking and concedes the corner. So it's been largely played at Floreat's attacking end of the pitch so far has this second half. Trailing by 3-1 here. Round 3 NPL WA action here in the West. A 4th set piece of the half. 2 from Shamaki and now 2 from Evans. This one's a good looking ball again. It's headed away by Tong, I think it was. Adam Zimmerino helped it on, but should come back with a bit of interest from Gallen. It was looking wide for Evans. It was dispatched pretty easily by Balcatta, who ended up winning a free kick through Corness on the subsequent play. Palmer. Fuller. Ball forward looking to Ambrosio's run. Shongo also tried to get on the end of it and drifting out wide for a goal kick. Bobby Tanevsky still giving directions off the bench. His team have done a lot of good work so far. An inch closer to that first NPL WA win of the season. Of course, they did win in round 1 of the Ghost round back in March. Ante Kovacevic is leaning against the dugout on that far side. Pondering his next move, would love to go out as Floreat Athena coach. Just the 6 months in the job, but he's made a pretty good impact so far in terms of the player performance. Whoever does get the full-time role after him will walk into a squad with a pretty good group of players. Cup specialists over the years as well, Floreat. As Gallon's ball in, good hold-up play from Shamaki. Outside of him is Arnold, whose low cross is fumbled by Stevenson, and Tong thought better safe than sorry, and puts it out for yet another Floreat corner. Shamaki trots over with a little bit of urgency to sling this one in. It's to the near post. Last touch off Marino, and nervous moment for the Balcatta defence as it looped up in the air but landed on top of the net. It feels as though these set pieces are coming in with some regularity into good positions. Evans once again looking for that near post. Once again the touch is off O'Connell. And it's pretty relentless from a set piece perspective. And that'll be a best on ground performance in the FFA Cup final. A drive from distance from Liam Murray. Game on at Grindleford Reserve. Balcatta 3, Floreat Athena 2. And a stunning drive from the former Perth Glory NPL youngster. As Balcatta turn to the bench, the first time this afternoon, it'll be Michael Zimmerino, who's possibly still feeling the effects of that cramp that he had a little earlier on. Replacing him is Callum Stocks. Stocks, who joined the club last season from Joondalup United, a key member of their Division 1 and 2 title winning seasons as they earned the place in the NPL. Ex-Wisbech Town in the UK and featuring in his third appearance in 3 games this season. Floreat look to drive forward in search of an equalizer. Carney stepping in and driving down the left-hand side, getting past Chris Saldaris with some ease. But that was a good recovery from the Athena defender, and now the tempo's really lifted here. As the sun emerges through the clouds once more, it's Murray. Shongo outside of him, uses the fullback. Half shout for handball off corner, so it'll be Shamaki to turn in the area and strike across goal. Ambrosio was waiting, desperate clearance from Castiello. And Floreat really coming hard now. A response befitting of their league leader status to date. Evans leaves that for Saldaris, who's got time to take a touch and strike. It nearly found its way through to Palmer. Fuller clips that one forward again for Shamaki. Can't keep that one in play, and somewhat was quite happy to let that roll out for a throw. Murray. Evans! Well, that would have been something had that nestled in the bottom corner. Well, once again, it was Liam Murray probing on the outside of the area, and Evans put his laces through it, didn't quite catch it as sweetly as he can, though, and wide of the post it went. What a thrilling finale we've got here at Grindleford Reserve this afternoon. NPL WA action live on the Football West YouTube channel and Facebook pages. Floreat coming from 3 goals down to bring it back to 3-2. Evans' ball forward. Carney is winning the header. Shamaki tenacious in his bid to win it back though, and wins his team a throw-in. Clearance from O'Connell. It'll come back pretty swiftly though, I think. It will, through Fuller. Cleared by Carney to the feet of Castiello. He's only really got Stocks ahead of him, making a run of any note. Barbas is off his line. He missed the clearance, and Shongo got there first. He's trying to hold the ball up in the corner to give Barbas that time to get back, and he's done that pretty successfully. Stocks just standing there. Referee's not blown his whistle yet. I can't remember seeing the ball sit in the corner like that for such a long period of time. It's worked out well for Balcatta, though, who make their way into the area, and the foul is given against them as Adam Zimmerino was lurking on the edge of the area. Not sure who that was against, possibly Durr. New signing from ECU Joondalup, Henry Durr, second spell of ECU Joondalup after spending time in the NPL in Victoria and having trials with Blackpool and Macclesfield in the EFL. providing some real energy in that engine room. Fuller. Forward it goes. Tong had a shout from Stevenson and left it through. O'Connell, Adam Zimmerino, Jack Leach, Castiello, John Corness. Joe Marino back to Carney. He's under pressure from Arnold, who slipped at the crucial moment. O'Connell, little clip through, looking for the run of Leach. Barbas opted to clear that one into touch. I think that would have been a goal kick had he left it. Balcatta having some long overdue territory as far as they're concerned at the right end of the field. A real onslaught in terms of set pieces anyway from Floreat in this half so far. Crucially, they still hold the lead though. Shamaki does really well to win that back from Castiello, who goes back and tries to win possession off Arnold. Flouls the Floreat man, and perhaps in a little bit of frustration, having lost the ball to Shamaki a moment ago, he goes into the book and becomes the second player of the afternoon to put himself in the notebook. Floreat turning to the bench for a for their first time this afternoon as Phil Arnold departs and Ludovic Boy enters the fray. 2015 gold medal player of the year winner Ludovic Boy back in 2015. As Evans' set piece looks dangerous again. Who's at the back post? No one. Last touch was off Balcatta in any case, and that'll be just about double figures in terms of Floreat set pieces now, I think. Once of Perth glory around a decade ago and top scorer in the National Youth League with Glenn Trefiro back in 09-010 was Ludovic Boy. Can he get on the end of this? Evans' corner punched by Stevenson. Adam Zimmerino will look to try and make his way up the line. He's converged on by three Floreat players though. Still in that corner, Boys hustling and doing pretty well to get a cross in. It nearly landed at the feet of Ambrosio. Here's Murray, we've seen what he can do already. Shamaki! Deflected, another corner. The visitors turning up the volume. In it comes again. Once again, Stevenson punches. Murray. Shongo. Gets the better of Corness. Advances. Strikes on his non-preferred right foot, and that's high and wide of the target, and Balcatta can breathe again. Handball off Boy, according to Matthew Southern, who did point the other way initially, allowing fans in the ground to think that was possibly paid against O'Connell for a high boot. Sun really shining brightly on Grindleford Reserve now. Real mixed day in terms of the weather so far. Gallen. Shamaki's flick on was looking for the run of Saldaris, but a little too heavy in terms of the contact from Shamaki. Shongo, Liam Murray, back to Shongo, Ambrosio, time to turn. Passes sideways beyond Castiello. Ball really ping-ponging around in that little area of the field. Here's Corness, marauding forward. Jack Leach making a run towards the back post. It should be cut out by Saldaris. It partially is. And in the end, the pass was good enough for Ludo Boy. Carney battling with Shamaki. That's great defending from the former Bayswater defender. 2013 Joe D'Orazio medal winner. And then a strong clearing challenge from Carney, and Ludo Boy will go into the notebook. Referee deemed that the Floreat winger was a little late on Carney there. It was certainly Carney that was going a little stronger though. Slightly late, nothing too untoward, but he joins the yellow card collection anyway. Castiello's flick. Durr will try and race and to get on the end of it. Fuller with good body work though to let that run for a throw, and he's getting play underway quickly. Durr. It's a good looking ball. Chris Saldaris under a little bit of pressure, but how's that for a little bit of composure there from the Floreat defender? Pass was not so good though, and that may just skid off the turf and out of reach for Adam Zimmerino, whose 2-goal contributions been decisive so far. Floreat doing their utmost to get an equaliser. Balcatta doing their utmost to hold on to this lead as Tong slides in and becomes the latest player to receive a yellow card, a few in the last few minutes or so, as the game becomes more and more stretched. So Murray, Palmer, Fuller, Ambrosio, Boy at the back post, all forward for this Evans free kick. It's a pretty good looking delivery once more. Shamaki couldn't get his head over the ball, and in the end sliced that wide of the upright. Goal kick was off the instep of Stevenson's boot, and it went straight into touch just beneath our broadcast position as the sun disappears once more behind the clouds and behind the trees over on that far side of the pitch. It's Murray's pass. Shamaki couldn't bring it under control. Leach clears that one straight up in the air. Palmer wins the initial header. Murray, now Shamaki. Palmer. Toe was in from Corness. It ended up making its way out to the left-hand side. And Nelson Shongo cleared up eventually by Tongdo as he slipped while making the clearance. Balcatta 3, Floreat Athena 2. Balcatta held a 3-0 lead in the first half of this game. League leaders Floreat have marched back into this one though. Goals from Phil Arnold and Liam Murray. And the cliched grandstand finish is really on here at Grindleford Reserve. Good crowd in attendance this afternoon. Getting their fix of local football. Good to have crowds back in the grounds at sport. Obviously, we're all really appreciative of that and quite lucky in the context of where we are around the world, as Evans' challenge was a little late on Carney, and that'll give Balcatta a set piece once more. So Balcatta will turn to the bench. And it'll be Anthony Tapini who'll enter the fray for these final 10 minutes or so. And the 2-goal hero, Adam Zimmerino, will make way. Just struggled to get into this game in the second half as Adam Zimmerino. He's been well marshalled back there after that opening burst. It looks as though Tapini will provide some fresh legs in midfield. Callum Stocks will play up front. And Henry Durr will sit just off him by the looks of it. Stocks in the action straight away with Chris Saldaris. Last touch off the former Joondalup United man though. And now nice feet from Tapini with his first touch. A decent looking pass as well, but Corness couldn't bring it down. And now Murray will look to drive at Balcatta's back four once more. Palmer. Gallen's got plenty of time on halfway. Balcatta organised. And just shuffling their way across the field to cut out those passing lines. Evans turns, retreats once more to Palmer. Fuller. Shongo. Referee takes a look at his linesman and flags up for offside against Shongo, who just strayed slightly. I tell a lie, the sun hasn't quite gone behind the trees on the far side just yet. Apologies if that glare is affecting your picture in any way. Been a beautiful day for football overall, aside from perhaps 10 minutes before half-time when we did have a little bit of rain drift across the pitch. Tapini's ball will look for the pace of Stocks. Sliding in to try and keep that alive. Gallen, did he keep it in play? No, not according to the linesman, who had his flag up pretty quickly. Michael Goyer. Tapini. Nice footwork again. Pass looking for Corness. Kept it in play. Did he? No, he didn't. Floreat win possession back. Barbas. Goal kick taken with some urgency. Here's Shongo. Forward looking for Shamaki, but the pass was cut out. Palmer. Gallen. What have the league leaders got up their sleeve in these final stages of the game? The clip through from Evans to the feet of Shimaki. Boy tried to return it to the striker. No whistle from the referee. Still going Shimaki, and in the end Durr just tries to put that into touch. He achieved that goal, but it'll be coming back in quick fashion from the visitors. Evans. Pass into the feet of Boy, who's still there putting pressure on O'Connell. Stocks nearly got that past Gallen, but a good recovery there from the experienced central defender. Shongo. Corness did well to win possession there, but Murray was there helping his teammate. Still Liam Murray twisting, turning. Past Boy, dinked through by Evans. And in the nick of time, Carney was there just as Chris Saldaris was looking to put a boot through it. He was offside anyway. Goal wouldn't have standed even if Saldaris managed to get the strike on goal. Stevenson in no rush to take the goal kick. Saldaris heads away. Back it goes from O'Connell. Returned by Gallen. Up to the physical battle of Carney and Shimaki. It's been a good one all day, that one to keep an eye on. Two really strong players who are definitely not shirking the physicality of a strong contest. Corness lifted over for the runner Durr. Fuller gets there first and clears into the grandstand where we're sat. Tapini tries to help that up the line. Last touch off Boy. Time continues to tick down. This is good as far as Balcatta are concerned. Forward by Tapini. Once more, Barbas is quick to get the ball moving. Fuller. Bobby Tanevsky urging his side to maintain their shape. Saldaris cross charge down. Just sense there may be one last chance in this game. Home team really have to keep their concentration here. Leach in battle with Saldaris. Throw will go to the visitors. Throw into the feet of Shimaki, who tries to hook over the top to his own advantage, and Stevenson is able to gather. And there's a few points from the sideline to just get that upfield. In the end, it was a really good pass for Corness. And maintaining possession, the aim of the game, as Corness puts that into the midriff of Murray. Throw-in will be taken by Marino. I suspect this will be headed towards the corner. It was, but it will eventually break the way of Floreat, who have a little bit of space on this right-hand side. If they can get it there, it goes long instead. It's headed away by Tong. Helped forward by Corness. Back again from Fuller. A real game of headers and volleys at the moment in midfield. That'll suit Balcatta fine if it stays there. Shongo forward. Palmer tickles through. Shamaki tries to turn. Liam Murray will get on the end of it. And really tidy footwork there by Palmer. But how's that for a bit of Tong experience to step in and win his team a throw-in? A vital intervention. That's exactly why they brought him back for a second spell at the club. We know he's got a long throw as well, which will prove handy here as it goes up the line. Hugging that touchline on the far side. Shongo emerges with it. Here's Liam Murray, who's drifted out to this left side once more. Shongo continues his run. He'll look back for Murray, who just took his eye off the ball. And once again, Balcatta will head upfield. Stocks has got to wait for support. He's a little slow in dispossessing. And now Murray again, who's looked a real bright light so far. Clipped into the middle, cleared away up and high by Carney. Here's Boy to strike, and perhaps had a little bit more time than he realised, did Ludo Boy. In the end, didn't catch it well at all. And that may just be the last opening that Athena have in this one. Balcatta preparing a third and final change of the afternoon. A cameo appearance for Jackson Dongre in these final couple of minutes or so. Ball forward from Saldaris. Tong got the last touch. Stevenson will try and keep it in play. Doesn't do so, and then throws the ball away in a little bit of frustration. And cops a yellow card. Evans will run over, and now bodies really are forward for Floreat now. All but Shongo and Barbas in the penalty area. Shongo on the outside of the area. Barbas on the halfway line. Evans taking the corner. Everybody else either inside the box or just outside it. It's flicked on and into the net for an equaliser by Andrew Palmer. Comeback complete. 3 goals down in the first half. 3-3 by the end of the game. And Athena maintain their unbeaten run. Balcatta 3, Floreat Athena 3. Staggering. Well, what a comeback. That is from Floreat. One of those set pieces was bound to pay out at some point, and it did in the form of an Andrew Palmer equaliser. Game's not done just yet, though. Corness tried to move forward. Fuller up in the air. Little push, was it from Ambrosio? No, he flicks on. Crowd really lively at the moment. Understandably so. Clipped forward from Palmer. Headed down, tickled around the corner by Boy. Up in the air from Leach. Corness tried to help it on, couldn't. And now Palmer will retreat for Shongo. Goodness me, if there's another one here, we might not see another in the game. Ball's in for Boy, who slipped at the crucial time. Matthew Southern blows his whistle. And that's the end of a frenetic 90 minutes here at Grindleford Reserve. Balcatta FC 3, Floreat Athena 3. Oh, you've got to feel for the hosts. They were so good, particularly in that first half, but Floreat just kept plugging away and plugging away. The set pieces didn't pay dividends, and for most of the game, and in the end, one from Dean Evans was put on a sixpence for Andrew Palmer to flick home into the top corner of the net, and that's a devastating blow for Balcatta FC, who remain winless Floreat Athena still unbeaten. Adams Marino's 2 goals in the first half lit up proceedings. John Corness headed a third into the back of the net in the first half, but Phil Arnold's volley gave the visitors a lease of light. And then Liam Murray scorched one in from distance, a real beauty of a strike. Arrowed through a sea of bodies into the bottom corner of the net. And as time wore on, Balcatta dropped that little bit deeper. And in the end, the weight of pressure from those set pieces told, and Palmer got his head to an in-swinging Dean Evans corner to rescue a point for the visitors. Tremendous 90 minutes of football here in Perth's northern suburbs. We hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for joining us this afternoon on the Football West YouTube channel and Facebook pages. My name's Tommy Dolman, and we'll see you next week for another game in the NPL WA. Good night.